At the absolute risk of making the driest video I've ever made, today I want to cover the topic of insurance. Now, if you own property in Cairns, be it as an investor, be it as an owner-occupier, this video is an absolute must-watch. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today, and firstly is the difference shopping around in insurance can make, and secondly, one big hack that I use that drastically reduces my insurance premiums each year. Now, I'm going to try and keep this one real quick as it is such a dry topic, but I do implore you, if you do own property in far north Queensland, this video is an absolute must-watch, as I'm sure if you take any of this advice, you'll save an absolute fortune. Now, as a quick disclosure, I'm not an insurance broker. I've got no affiliation with any of the insurance companies, but I do recommend you shop around and you read the product disclosure statements, but let's jump into it. So to jump into this, I want to use the same property. Now, this property is a property I actually own in Edge Hill. I want to use this property as an example across the different insurance companies and across the different comparisons. So the property is in Bowden Street, Edge Hill. That property does sit just in the flood zone as well as in the orange storm surge zone, I believe it is. So it is a good example for a Cairns property, as it does sit in a bit of a risk area. For this example, I'm going to say it's owner-occupied. The property was built in 1990. The roof is colour bond. The construction is concrete block. It does have all the insurance policies are going to have flood cover, and we're going to insure just the house only, not insuring contents. House only for $300,000. So there you have it. You can use those sort of metrics and input it into any of these insurance companies to get the quotes that I'm essentially putting in. So essentially I've jumped into three different insurance companies. That's RACQ, Amy Insurance and Shaun Insurance. For anyone unfamiliar with Shaun Insurance, they essentially just insure North Queensland, and they're underwritten by some of the bigger companies, so definitely one to check out. So essentially I've put the default excess. This is when you jump in and do a quote, it will automatically give you an excess as a default. And so for RACQ, we had $750 of excess, and they were the highest. So they come back at $3,400. Amy Insurance had a default of $1,000 excess, come in at $2,700. And Shaun Insurance had a $500 excess, so the smallest of the lot, but come back at the cheapest premium. So that was $1,600, so almost half the price of the RACQ insurance. So even if you've got just this far into this video, I implore you to go out and shop around with your insurance, as it does make such a huge difference. Imagine what an extra $1,700 a year would do for you. So simply by making a couple of phone calls or jumping onto some of these insurance websites, you can instantly start saving money. Now, the big hack and the thing that I want to speak about today is the difference of playing around with the excesses. So each insurance company will have a different maximum excess. So RACQ, that's a $3,000 excess, Amy's $3,000, and Shaun will allow you to increase the excess to $5,000. What does this mean? It means that if you do have a claim, the first X amount of dollars won't actually be covered. So if you smash a window, if you do a small amount of damage, the first $3,000 to $5,000 isn't going to be covered, depending on where you set your excess. But what does this do to the premium? So even with RACQ, it saves $700 a year on your premium. So essentially, you only need to go 2-3 years claim free before you're better off having those excesses slightly higher, as you will be saving on your premiums. Amy, it reduces your premiums by $500, and for Shaun Insurance, taking the excesses from $500 to $5,000 halves the premium. So we go from a $1,700 a year premium down to just $800. So that is a huge saving by playing around with your excesses when you're looking at taking out insurance cover. So just to break this down, essentially our most expensive policy that out of the three I've quoted was $3,400 with RACQ, and the cheapest policy with Shaun Insurance taking out a $5,000 excess was just $800. So essentially the difference between the two is $2,600. Now if you've got one property, that's $50 a week, but if you're like me and got a couple of properties here in Cairns, that's saving, we're saving around $10,000 a year just by shopping around. So I do absolutely implore you to jump on, check where your insurances are sitting, as this is an absolutely huge saving if you shop around, play with your excesses. It can make such a huge difference. As always, read the product disclosure statement. I'm not an insurance broker, so find out what this actually means to you. But I hope this video does give you a very quick little nudge to go out and check what you're actually paying for insurance. And if it turns out I've saved you some money, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know, as because I know this advice has already saved hundreds of people huge amounts of money. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe. We bring out heaps of content relating to the Cairns property market on this channel, and I love bringing you new videos. Talk to you soon.